Welcome to Bar Talk. I am your host, Brandon T. And this is a place where we have conversations about what's happening out there in the wild, aka in your life and so forth, and in the culture and so forth. So before we get started, listen, like, subscribe, and comment everywhere you see me. Question I have, you know what I'm saying, is it's about trust. When do you have trust and when do you lose trust? And do you actually get to use the trust? And what I mean here is like say, in a relationship situation. You know what I'm saying? As you know what I'm saying, two people, you know what I'm saying, get to know each other and so forth and knowing each other's quirks and features and nuances and so forth. And then y'all start trusting each other. Now, as y'all build up trust, you know what I'm saying, you know that you know what I'm saying, you can call on that person to do whatever and then call on you to do whatever and then you know what I'm saying they can assume that you know what I'm saying that you will handle yourself accordingly in situations that you know what I'm saying you find yourself in, you know what I'm saying, if you're out about by yourself and that you know what I'm saying and there's you know what I'm saying, other people or women and so forth, as far as men, that the woman can trust that you will act accordingly in that situation, and vice versa. That women, when you out in certain places, that the man can understand that you act accordingly and so forth. So, and that level of trust that you know what I'm saying that y'all will do what y'all supposed to do. The question is now is like okay, like I said, how does that trust gain and how is that trust lost? Now, do you think that you know that trust? Do you get to use the trust pass? You know what I'm saying, and try to you know what I'm saying do like I said if a scenario comes up right, if a questionable scenario come up, do you get the you know what I'm saying that you built trust in your situation? Do you get the benefit of the doubt to trust that I know that you know what I'm saying that you will handle yourself accordingly in this situation? Do you get that trust, or is it a questionable situation comes up and then whatever the other person feels that may have happened may not have happened, regardless of what you say, is the trust lost there? Or does you get to use the trust? Or say like say for an example. So you built your trust up, you got and so forth, and say that you as a man go to the bar or you go out somewhere and you're conversating with other women, and somebody sees you conversating. But I mean, it's innocent. In your eyeballs, it's innocent. All you do is run in your mouth, and then when you get up, you leave. You go home. You didn't collect the numbers. You didn't collect no contact information on the person. You just get up, and leave, and then somebody tells your woman, "Hey, I saw Johnny out there at the bar. He was yakking it up with this woman over here, and so forth." And she tells her, now, do you in that turn lose the trust? Because she was like, hey, who, Johnny, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? I was told that you was talking to such and such. Do you lose the trust at that point? Or can you say, hey, yeah, I was sitting there and you know what I'm saying, it was running my mouth and then, you know what I'm saying, it was time to go and I left. I didn't collect any information from her. Do you have the trust? Is trust does her trust that you created, does that get you out of that scenario, or does that turn that she doesn't trust you anymore to handle yourself out? So in that scenario, you lost trust as soon as you identified that you had, you know, a conversation with somebody else, and vice versa. The same, you flip the whole thing around. You know what I'm saying? Your woman's out. You know what I'm saying? She talks to a guy, somebody sees it, and so forth. And is trust lost at that point, or is it, or can you, or do you trust the person's answer or reasoning on why they were doing what they're doing at the time? So does the trust extend to that point where they can say, XYZ happened, nothing was going on, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, innocent conversation. I shut it down. They wanted more out of the situation. And that, now, do you have trust at that point? The trust you built, you know what I'm saying, cover that? Or the trust it stops at, hey, you was somebody that saw you doing something. Yeah, so like I said, it's one of the things where, you know what I'm saying, we need to, you know what I'm saying, determine where trust is created and where trust is lost, and is a scenario that, you know what I'm saying, are you trusted in, or is trust one of those things where you build it up, as long as you don't do nothing, you know what I'm saying, you're good. You don't actually get to test the trust out. And so, so and then two, if the answer is, as soon as you do something, as soon as somebody see you doing something and you doing something, and the trust gets wavy, how do you gain the trust back? Is it a myriad of time where you get the trust back, or you know what I'm saying? And then two, why couldn't you have used the trust pass? Why couldn't I? Hey, I had a conversation. It was nothing, and and the other person agrees, accepts that as it is. Is there a way to get to that level of trust? Is that like the Super Saiyan trust, or in a relationship that trust, that particular level is never reached? Cause I know you. Cause then I guess then what comes in that factor is that, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of dishonest people out here, and in relationships and so forth. People cheat and all that good stuff. So does your trust factor, you know what I'm saying, leave because of the statistical thinking that other people have, that, you know what I'm saying, when the trust, you know what I'm saying, since you can look at it, you know, such cheated on such and such, and so because they had this conversation, whatever, and then that started to set it off, and your trust is lost, or past experiences, so forth, and then it turns into, can your new experience be a singular experience, not, you know what I'm saying, not pretty much have taken from past experience, and just be clean blanket of trust, and then that particular trust, you know what I'm saying, carry over, and you could say is a certain thing, and that be trusted. Is that point ever achieved, and so forth? But anyway, you know what I'm saying. I my opinion on it is that if you build trust and trust is built, you gotta trust the person. You know what I'm saying? You can't get to the point where, you know what I'm saying, you build trust and trust is created, and then it's left and lost without being able to use the trust. Cause what's the point of building the trust? Cause then that's pretty much what you're saying. If you lose it that quickly, it's like, yo, as long as I'm looking at you, I trust you. And then who wants to be with somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that don't trust you outside of their sight? But anyway, like I said, it's all, like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about trust and accountability. So, peoples, don't jump to conclusions. Let you know what I'm saying, trust the person when they say it wasn't me. At least give them that trust. And then until you realize it is them. And with that being said, this has been Bar Talk, and I've been your host, Brandon T. Peace.